Hi there folks, it's Mandy from Kemp Freehold, and today I am going to make universal muffins from the Tightwad Gazette. The cool thing about this recipe is that highly adaptable to what ingredients you have on hand. It's a framework for muffins as opposed to a recipe. So for us, we have this leftover wheatina that I had made, and the kids ate it, but there's about a cup left over, maybe a little more, and I'm going to use those to make muffins. I have the wheatina there, and then I scrounged around in my refrigerator and I had some apple butter left, so we're going to use that also to make apple butter muffins. The first thing you need to do is you would put your liquid ingredients all together first. So first thing you need to do is crack an egg. This egg got cracked on its way in the house, so I'm using a fresh egg. Typically I would not use a fresh egg for making muffins. I prefer to use older eggs in baking, but I don't really have a choice here. And next I will add my oil. And sugar. All together. So I will mix that up. My whisk is missing, so I'm going to go look for that. I did not find my whisk, but I did find a fork. So we'll whisk this all together. I am using 1/3 of a cup of sugar. The recipe says you can use up to half a cup. But the apple butter is already sweetened, so I wouldn't want to add too much sugar because of that. So whisking it all together. And then I have 1 cup of the wheatina. I actually have more of the wheatina, but you can only substitute for up to a cup of the regular flour. So I'm going to use all that. And there's about a half a cup left, so I'll just put that out for the chickens. Leftover oatmeal is not the world's tastiest thing in my opinion, so I'm not going to make the kids try and eat it tomorrow. I'm going to add the 1 cup of apple butter to it. Hear my kids fighting in the background. It's pretty terrific. And I'm glad to be getting this apple butter out of my refrigerator because it's been in there for quite some time. I made cookies with it at Christmas time, which, by the way, were amazing. And I made apple butter cake, which was also, staggeringly good. So that's won't be taking up a space. So you're gonna mix all of your wets together. And since I hear a little kid crying, I'm gonna get off of here. I'll be right back. Mix all of our wet ingredients together, and I can't do that and film at the same time, so you'll just have to take my word for it. And I'm going to mix this all together. And also you need to mix all of your flour and baking powder and salt, and you're going to mix all of them together. Oh, I also forgot, I'm going to add my milk. You need your milk here. So mix all of your wet together. You want to make sure if you're using like oatmeal or a cooked grain, that you really get the lumps out. Otherwise, you'll end up with lumps of cereal in your muffins. And now we're going to add the dry ingredients. I held back a half a cup of flour because flour varies greatly depending on what the humidity is like in your kitchen and other factors. So you would want to hold back some flour. Because you can add flour, but you can't take it away. So I'm going to mix this up and you'll see what it looks like in a minute. To me, this isn't quite stiff enough for a muffin batter, so I'm going to add just a quarter cup more of flour and see how I like the looks of that. Like I said, it's always better to go slow on your flour and add more later than having to try and figure out how to balance it out. Which I have done in the past, but the results are never as good. Once you're pleased with the viscosity of it, and I am, this looks good to me, you can just put it in your muffin tins. I'm going to fill these all up 2/3 of the way up because you don't want to overflow them. The recipe says it makes 12, but I got 18, so we'll see. I don't know, maybe my muffin tin's smaller than hers. But now I'm going to put them in the oven at 350 degrees for, I believe, 22 minutes. And then I'll check on them. Screwed up when I told you 350, it was 400 and for 20 minutes. I've had them in for 18 minutes. I don't know if you can still see, but they are still juicy on top. So I'm going to put them in for another 3. A thin knife to test for doneness. Comes out clean, so we're good to go. They still look a little damp on top, so I'm kind of surprised, but I'm going to pull them out. I had to put them in for another 3 minutes. So it was like 22 minutes total. Cooling, they're shrinking. I realized that when I was measuring out the baking powder, I only put 2 teaspoons, and if you're using wet additions, you need 3. I got distracted midway through measuring. So these will be a little more dense, but they look good, and the kids are looking forward to them. If this kind of thing is of interest to you, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!